is closed between the Duncastle Road and Gorse Road. Anne Jordan reporting.
Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster.
Thanks, Anne. Well, now on BBC Radio Ulster, stand by for a compilation of some of the best bits from the Gerry Anderson Show. It's time for Anderson Extra.
Hello, and welcome to the first in a new series of Anderson Extra, the product of many hours sifting through the daily Gerry Anderson Show in an effort to find at least 3 things that sound vaguely funny. It's not easy. I am Gerry Anderson, the main stakeholder of the programme. You'll also hear the voices of Sean Coyle, my token working class person, and Janet or Emma, depending on who turned up on that particular day. This may not make much sense to you this morning, but it didn't make much sense when it was first broadcast either. Indians of a red variety appear to have visited our shores at a time when it was an unusual thing to receive a visit from a band of indigenous braves. A grown man remembers his reaction when a bus full of Indians showed up in Shaw's Road.
I was only 9 and I had my cap on, and I'm sure you did too as well. But the biggest surprise of life was a minibus arrived and these red Indians got out.
Are you serious?
I am serious. Now, I would love people, you couldn't pronounce their surname in Irish. Well, one of them was called Adam McArish. That's what we called him, because we couldn't pronounce his name.
Well, where did they come from and what did they want?
America.
And what were they doing?
They came over to bless the last house.
Why would they do a thing like that?
Because it was a cultural exchange. And so on like that. They were in contact with each other.
And what age were you, can you tell me?
9, 10.
Must have been a big day for you, eh?
Wasn't it just? And there's my cat gun. Should I shoot them or run?
I should shoot them before they see you.
But I would love somebody to get on, and can they remember that?
Do you have any idea what tribe they were?
No.
Of course, at that age, you'd have been just gobsmacked, wouldn't you?
I was gobsmacked.
Can you remember the year?
Gobsmacked. And, we brought it down to the pub, and I says, you wouldn't believe this, but I remember red Indians outside my front door.
And there's no reason why you can't call them. They don't like being called red Indians. But,
I know, but
Indians like being called Indians. Do you know, Indians like being called Indians. Americans call them Native Americans and indigenous population. Indians don't like that.
You're probably right.
Indians like to be called Indians. And what year was this? We can trace this for you. What year was it?
I haven't a clue.
Well, what age are you?
I'm 56.
56, and you were, what age were you then?
9.
About 9, 10.
I can count. I can count.
So can I.
And look at he.
But sometimes you get it wrong.
47 years ago. So this is 2011. 47.
I would turn around and say to you, they ended up building a school beside it as well.
1964.
And I haven't been back up there in nearly 29 years.
Did you say that was Shaw's Bridge or Shaw's Road?
Shaw's Road.
That's not Shaw's Bridge.
No.
Okay. Well, so that looks to me like 1964.
And the field was called Horner's Field.
Horner's Field.
Yeah.
And either 1963 or 1964 or 1965.
Surely the television cameras would have been there. Surely Walton
No,
Love would have been up.
Michael Bagley might have been there.
It couldn't have been what you're saying, 64, 65,
No,
because
can't be
the
that.
troubles broke out.
It can't be that.
No, but you're 56, right?
No, wait a minute now. Let's work this out.
I've already worked it
He's
out.
56.
Yeah.
He was 9.
Yeah.
So many...
I've already done this.
Oh, have you?
But you want to do it now? See if we get the right answer.
No, if you have
1964.
You're quite
maybe
certain.
it was 15, I don't know, but I still had a cap on.
Well, were the troubles on?
Yeah, the troubles started.
Well, it must have been 64. What were you,
71.
Well, if you're 69. So sometime between 69 and 70, would you say?
71,
There
72.
must be footage in the
I really
BBC.
don't know.
Michael
But I
Bagley
remember the
reporting from
incident
Shaw's
very
Road.
well.
I'm surrounded by a number of Indians here. Good morning, Blackfoot. The presenter makes himself feel better today by lying about his underprivileged childhood and the Spartan conditions which he did not endure during his early formative years.
You were brought up with a bathroom.
I was not brought up with a bathroom.
Yes, you were.
We never had a
You
bathroom.
don't know what it was like to go out the yard.
There was a bathroom in our bedroom. There was a bath at the bottom of my bed. We didn't have a bathroom. We had a little place you went to pee.
Well,
And the bins were beside that.
yeah, but you didn't have to go
There was a
out.
bathroom on the bottom of my bed. There was a bath in my bedroom, and nobody used to go into it because people could come in and see you. And there's no water anyway. You had to bring it in a bucket. Don't be talking to me about. I know about hardship. You think I was rich? Do you think I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth? Do you think I was overprivileged? Do you think that? Is that what you think? Is that what you think?
Yeah.
Well, you're right.
Yeah.
I deign to be so presumptuous as to suggest.
Had you used a Brock bucket?
Yes, we had a Brock bucket,
Or
which we
is what they
filled
call-
regularly.
What they call in Belfast a skins bucket, isn't
No,
it?
we used to have our Brock delivered because we were so poor.
Ah, that's not
Used to order
bad.
2 buckets.
I
in a
forgot
week.
about that one.
What? You walked into that one,
I
didn't you?
forgot about that one. Who's that? John Lennon? May McFadden says.
No, I do believe it was Tommy Kelly.
Tommy Kelly was it?
The late Tommy Kelly. We had our Brock delivered.
Yeah.
I deign to be presumptuous, says a man.
Your levels are low.
Once again, the presenter tells a story that is deemed a lie by Coilus Interruptus. Seems that everything the presenter says or insinuates is received with suspicion. This hurts the presenter greatly, knowing as he does that even the occasional word of truth that he utters is also disbelieved. Interruptus will cry wolf once too often. Judgment is nigh.
You never had a back gate either.
I never had a backyard. We never had a backyard.
We had a back gate with a horse's shoe. Horseshoe nailed onto it.
I think you arrived at that lovely. May I just say that a lot of people don't realise the conditions under which we lived. We had never had a backyard, but we had a cat, and our kitchen looked out upon flat roofs, right? Okay?
Yes.
In other words, and our cat, we would keep our window open at all times, and our cat would go out the window and go across the roofs and come back at a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
And one time there was a man living with us. We used to keep lodgers.
Yes.
And the man said, let me clean your windows, Mrs. Anderson. That's my mother.
Uh-huh.
And so he cleaned the windows of the kitchen and the place where the cat went out. So my mother closed the window to enable him to better to clean it.
Mm-hmm.
But we forgot about the cat. And the cat came back, and the window was so clean that he thought it was open. And the cat jumped straight through the glass.
That's not bad, but...
We were sitting there, we just heard this crash. And
I didn't break the glass.
He broke a glass.
He did not.
It just came straight. The big cat, he just
Ach,
had it.
you're lying now. You're lying. The cat...
Right. Okay.
Right.
All right, think about this.
All right, right,
Okay,
a
think
cat-
about this. You've got a glass door out there,
What
right?
was the cat doing jumping?
No, the cat jumped in the window.
I can't
Because-
jump in the window.
He jumped in the window because he had to jump across the jaw box onto the floor. So he needed to have he had to have a bit of a run.
Oh, I see.
He had to have a bit of a run.
Well, how
and
did he get out?
he
How
got out
did
before
how did he get out?
He got out before the windows were clean.
How did he get out over the jaw box?
He jumped up on it. He took a run from the floor and he jumped up in the jaw box and then
And
straight out the window.
bounced on the edge of the jaw box.
Yes.
I get a grip
No,
of
he used
yourself.
it. He used it as a
springboard.
A springboard. That's the word I'm looking for. Thanks.
Don't believe that's you're telling lies.
I'm not telling lies.
You know what I would love now?
I don't know.
I'm going to tell you now.
Yes.
Something that you haven't had, I would say, in years. No.
Yes, yes. How do you know?
Stop that.
What then?
I would like pears and ice cream.
I spit on your pears and ice cream.
Well,
I had pears and ice cream last week.
You did not.
I went down to a well-known Italian chip shop which specialises in ice cream, and I got myself a tub of ice cream. And then I went to a well-known supermarket and I bought a small tin of sliced pears. I put the sliced pears, all of them, into a bowl, and indeed inserted the ice cream just as it was about to melt. And I fired it down my thrapple and enjoyed it tremendously, so much that I got a sore tooth. That's what happens when you enjoy ice cream too much, you make your teeth sore.
Yes.
There's only one type of ice cream, and it's getting very, very rare. The old,
I like-
the old Italian families, you know what happened here?
I
The
like
old,
Ripple.
What?
I like Ripple.
Catch yourself on. Now listen, this is what you do. There are a number of Italian families in this province. They all came here around about 1910,
Yeah,
1920.
well, no.
You know that?
Yeah.
No, but do you know what happened? They brought their recipes with them
Yeah.
for ice cream. Listen, one of the things that I think is important that these people should be preserved. And they don't do raspberry, they don't do strawberry, they don't do, raspberry ripple. They just do ordinary white ice cream. And it's just a little bit grainy, and it is absolutely beautiful.
Would you not squirt your thing over it when you take it home?
No, you put nothing. No, you put.
Your, what do you call that thing? What do you call that?
I'm just going to leave you.
A flavouring. You know that we...
Flavouring?
Yeah, that we...
You don't need the flavouring.
Squirty bottle.
I don't have a squirty bottle.
Do you not?
He has a little squirty bottle down there himself.
Yes.
And what he does is he puts a little raspberry on it, but it's not the raspberry that you get in your squirty bottle at home. He's got special little raspberry stuff. The presenter has been at the forefront of the campaign for Jumpers for Hens, this year's chosen charity, or indeed Sweaters for Poultry. Today, another demonstration of his kindness to poultry.
I would go out and I can't really talk their language very well,
Chicken
American
talk.
could.
You can't do the chicken talk.
I can't do the chicken talk, but Johnny Concrete can do it, and he's very good with them.
Uh-huh.
So
Jerry can do it, Marie.
Oh, don't.
Jerry,
Jerry can call chickens.
Ugh,
He called them from a wee boy. He was calling chickens, weren't
stop.
you, Jerry?
Look, I don't like
let
to...
me hear you, Jerry.
Go on, call your chickens.
I
Go
don't
on,
like this.
go on, feed it. Go on, you've got your wee bucket of feed now, your wee bucket of grit, and you've come to the back door. Go on.
I've got potatoes I have.
Potato skins. No, you're no good, Marie. All right, you're right. Yeah, you're no good.
She can't do it at all.
No, she can't get up there. Go ahead, Jerry.
I think if you look around now, they'll see them, the hens alerted.
Yeah.
Jerry, can you make a CD of that and send it to me?
I'll do the best I can.
You have to say, here, chickie.
Yeah,
No, you see.
No, you see, you haven't got it. You haven't got it.
Marie.
No,
I'm out of practice.
Yeah.
But, I would need a...
Whenever I go there, my grandson says the party's over now. Here's the big chicken. I share them.
I would need a little rehearsal, I suppose. I haven't perfected it yet. I haven't got the high notes the way I'd like them. The presenter always insists that the listeners are treated with respect, even those who don't deserve it, of which there are many.
Is Robert in England?
Are you in England, Robert?
No, was
No,
Robert
I'm
in
not
England?
in England. I'm from the heart of the Mourns.
But were you ever in England?
No, he wasn't.
No.
No, you see, you're wrong there. You detected something in his accent.
Just heard a wee. Just
No.
heard a wee.
No,
Just
there
heard a
was
wee.
nothing there.
Just heard a wee. That's
You
all.
got up at the end.
Aye.
a wee
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I heard that too, but I realised it was a slip of the tongue. It wasn't a real slip. It wasn't a real going up at the end of the sentence, which indicated that he might have been living in England for some time. It wasn't really one of those. It wasn't that, was it? You've never been in England.
No, I've never been in England, no.
You see,
Which is
but if
sad.
he had
Don't
been
live
in
in
England,
England.
he'd be talking like that,
Yeah.
just a little bit, and he'd be talking just a little bit, getting up at the end like that. But he hasn't done that except accidentally for a moment. Okay, thank you, Robert. I know this is a confusing time for you.
We should set
Yes,
up.
it's very confusing.
We should set up a clinic for people who come back from England.
No, remedial centre.
Yeah,
A remedial centre
give
for
them back
people who
their
want
accents.
who want to talk the way they used to talk
Yes.
before they went to England, because they're coming back talking like that, and everyone's wondering what's wrong with them.
Yeah.
So they want to teach them how to talk like that.
Just talk like that again.
You don't have to go up at the end of your sentence,
Yeah.
except like that there. It's okay, there's certain ways to go up. If you say, what about you? You can go up at the end of that sentence,
That's right.
but you can't say, what about you?
No.
Can't do that. Even though what's going up at the end of the sentence, that's a different thing. Let's try the two together. What about you? What about you? You see, that's no good. Sounds similar, but it's not. Because I told you about the fella I went to a bar in Derry, and at lunchtime, very unusual for me, but it was during the summer, and I just felt like a little beer, just a bottle of beer. Very unusual for me. No, I don't do that.
I know you don't.
But I was kind of parched,
Yeah.
I sat down and have a beer. So I sat at the bar and I said, could I have a beer, please? So he gave it to me and he said, enjoy. And I said, excuse me? And he went, sorry. He realised he shouldn't have said that, enjoy. He apologised. But I thought that was big of him. Don't you apologise? More people should apologise for saying enjoy.
Yeah.
Shouldn't they?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Are you good with that? I'm good to go.
Uh,
Robert, are you good to go?
Yes, we're good
Okay.
to go.
Okay, good to go. You see, he's learning some things you pick up on the radio. Once again, Carlos Interruptus relates a story about his former life as a real person. We've already had details of a past career manufacturing fire guards, so what other arcane occupations lurk within?
I'm trying to trace a man.
Yes.
Why do you laugh?
You're always looking for a man. Why do you look for a woman sometimes? It sounds better.
I'm
Anyway,
looking
go
for
ahead.
a man. I'm looking for a man with a beard.
And who is he? Or where is he?
I work till him, and
Tell him.
I work
With him or for him?
I work with him in Birmingham.
Yes.
And this man, and the reason I'm trying to find this, I remember his first name, Ian.
Yeah?
And this man was the man, or one of the men, who built the guns of Navarone.
What?
You remember the film,
Of course I remember the
The
film.
Guns of Navarone?
Gregory Peck, David Niven,
Yes.
all the old boys.
He made.
They were a wee bit in their dotage then, but they managed to get through it all right. The big guns of Navarone.
The big guns of Navarone in the film were made out of plaster.
What?
Plaster.
Oh, you mean the guns for the film that they
The
filmed?
guns for the film were made out of plaster, and this man Ian made them. He was the main, and then I worked at him.
You worked with him?
I worked him.
But
I
did you
worked
help
with
him make the guns in Navarone?
No, and he also worked on a film called The Long Boats, and he made the boats. And,
The long boats? Was that
I don't know.
something to do with obviously the Vikings? Who
The
was in that? I
long
wonder.
boats? I don't
think
know.
yeah, long boats. Yeah, I think it was a Viking film.
Right?
I think I remember that. Ask that young lady. Who is she? Emma.
Emma.
Emma, would you Google the long boats?
Right.
I have a feeling that was a Viking film because that's what they called the Viking boats, long boats.
But you see, it's yes, is that right? Yes, yes.
Who was in it?
Who was in it?
Emma.
Who was in it?
Kirk Douglas.
Richard Widmark.
Richard Widmark.
Yeah.
He used to laugh.
Who? Sidney Poitier.
Sidney Poitier. My name is Mr. Tibbs. Richard Widmark used to laugh like that.
Well, you see, that spoilt the film, The Guns of
Can't you hear me doing
Navarone for me.
Can't you hear me doing impressions here?
right.
The moment is gone now.
All right.
So he made the Guns of Navarone.
Yeah, and they were made out of plaster. So every time when I was watching the guns and the big boom, and they were firing out this big shell, I said they're only plaster. It spoiled it on me.
You would tell people sit beside you.
Oh,
in the cinema.
I said, you know,
See
they're
them guns there, love?
only plaster.
Them only plastic. I know about need them.
That's right.
More talk of Indians, and what's more, they're a little more tribal than we had previously thought.
A man phoned me
Yes?
to say that the Indians were brought over and they marched on the 12th. they were in the. There's some connection with the Orange Order. I'm not being funny here now. No, I'm not being funny. This is true.
I know
And
it's not being funny, but I just find it slightly amusing.
And apparently they marched. Is this? A man,
yeah, I believe it, yeah. But
well, I don't know.
it's good, isn't it?
They were Mohawk. Seriously. No.
Gets curiouser and curiouser.
There you are. So.
I wonder what they make of the whole. What did they like Lord Carson? Anyway,
But
here,
it's
listen.
a bit of a contradiction. They run around blessing houses and marching. What's going on here?
No surrender.
Stop it now, you'll get into trouble.
No surrender, no surrender. One man, one vote. One man, one vote. Anyway, here's something to get your teeth in. This is the type of subject that you relish.
Right.
I need help from Sean.
Good.
And this is the type of thing that I know that you enjoy. I understand that several months ago, Sean had his canister of shaving foam was confiscated at Belfast International Airport.
It's over a year ago now. I'm not over it.
You'll never
true.
fly again.
No.
Anyway, I am flying to London at the airport. They will allow me to carry any liquid as long as it's 100 mils or less and is in a sealed, see-through plastic bag. This is a man. You should meet this man and have a drink with him. He just sounds like you.
Right.
I will be bringing a canister of shaving foam with me that says 200 mils on the canister, but I've used quite a lot of it. And there's only about 50 mil left.
Right.
Does Sean, as an expert in having shaving foam taken away from him, know if my particular canister will be confiscated or will it go through?
No, it'll be taken on him.
But
They just read the label and say, take it on you.
yeah, but he wants to take it.
I
You would do the same.
the other.
He's a man after your own heart.
When was it? Whenever it was, we were going on holiday, and there was a young lad on the other queue from us, and all his shaving gear and all the stuff that he had, they made him dump it, and he was throwing them into the bin. So he really was angry. But I was told that you have something your right to
Yes.
squirt it out.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
can squirt it out and say,
This is
"No,
what I'm
right,
telling the people
I'll
now."
waste it.
Yes.
I'll waste
Wha-
it.
If they take it off you,
Yeah.
if you have kind of underarm deodorant,
Yeah.
and they take it off you,
Yes.
and they say you can't have that, you can stand there and just spray it all out.
I think you're wearing the wrong clothes.
Why do you think that?
I do.
What's wrong with me?
I don't think you're comfortable in your jeans.
My jeans are fine. They may be a little tight.
They're too tight round the
Oxters?
Oxters
Where?
round in the leg. Your
No, but
legs.
this is the fashion.
I know
now.
it's the fashion, but you're not.
You wore those when you were 16, dream
but
pipes.
you're not comfortable in them.
I am comfortable
You are
in
not
them.
comfortable with the Jerry Anderson that you have put out this morning. Yeah, I know.
Jerry Anderson that I put out this morning is fine.
No, he's
and he's
not.
happy. He
is
just doesn't
not
want
happy.
to talk
He's
to
far-
you.
He's not
He's
happy.
fed up talking to
He's
you.
not happy. I would say the Jerry Anderson that left the house this morning is a Jerry Anderson with a little pain.
I don't have a pain.
I think you have.
I
I
don't-
think you're in pain.
I'm not in pain.
I can always tell. And you've been in pain all week. And the people can tell it as well, too, because the people were saying he's burning a little oil. People were saying that. And you're not, you've got, your tolerance level is 0.
It's low, yeah.
Yes, yes.
think it's
No,
because my
that's
trousers-
that's when I know.
You think it's because my trousers are too tight?
I think that you've got the wrong clothes on. You haven't been dressing well this week at all.
My trousers are squeezing the goodness out of me. What about the people saying yesterday that I've been on the radio since the beginning of time?
Well, you've been on. I've been working out, you know.
Not appropriate.
It's coming. That's coming near a time. It's
Jerry, I'm
coming
ringing
very.
this
Just a
morning.
second, Robert. Sorry for interrupting you, Robert. But I just want to point this out to Jerry. It's coming near. There's a special number, special date, with a 0 on it, coming up for both you and I.
The anniversary of the Titanic sinking?
No, there's a 0 on it. It was you before me. I'm about.
You don't mean?
I'm about 2 years after you.
You're a liar.
Yes, coming up to you. A big.
Do you mean
No.
my time is running out?
No, that's. I'm not going to say how long you've been on, but it's between one.
Stop it. You mean to say what you're trying to say to me is that I've been on the radio too long? Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
No, is that what you're trying to say? Do you think it's time I should pass the baton? Really?
It's a
Nolan
number
Hindley.
between 2
Stop it.
and 4.
I don't want to hear numbers. I don't want to hear numbers. I want to hear what's in your
with
heart.
a 0 on it.
I don't want to hear numbers. I want to hear what's in your heart. I know it's a dark, unforgiving, black heart.
Angina's in my heart.
Also the angina. And I don't mind that because it may slow you down. That's a good thing. I want to hear what's in your heart.
What?
Are you telling me that you think it's time I
Oh no,
pass
no.
the baton to
no.
another?
No, it's coming to a
What?
special year.
I know, but what does that special year mean? Does that mean I should stand aside?
No.
I'll know when to go.
Yes.
You remember what Terry Wogan said about a certain presenter that he couldn't adjust to the dimming of the light?
Yes.
Do you remember? He
Yes.
won't name that presenter. He said that Terry said that he couldn't adjust to the dimming of the day.
Yes.
That's a great way of putting it, wasn't it?
Wasn't it?
But you see, I've adjusted to the dimming of the light
Nothing
because
wrong
my
with
light.
that.
Do you know why, Sean? My light shines brightly still. My light is undimmed.
Do you see the guy on the ad on the TV's the living spit of you? Have you?
No, no, I haven't.
Have you not?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you must look out for it.
Well, what ad is it?
He is. It's you.
Well, it's not
and
me.
For the life of me, my wife was said,
it is-
"There's
maybe-
Jerry. Is that
Maybe
Jerry?
it is me.
Is it you?
Because I'm not allowed to do stuff like that. Maybe it is me. Stop.
No, it's
quiet.
not you. No, this.
You sure it's not me?
It's not. But it's your brother. People are singing. A lot of singing on. I can't remember what it's for. It's for one of the big stores. I can't
Doesn't
remember.
sound like me.
And there's a man sitting dozing. I know, a Granda type figure.
Was that
Sitting
me, is it?
Sitting dozing at the fire. And
Oh, is that me, is it?
And the child runs up to the.
Is that me, is it? The presenter once again finds a roundabout way of talking about famous people that he does not know. He yearns for celebrity, but fears that it may be beyond his grasp. Maybe it's too late.
Say, for instance, when you were a big show band star,
Yes.
right, and you would come into a pub, right?
Yes.
And everybody would look at you, and all heads would turn, and say,
Yes,
look,
they
who's
would.
just walked in. Jerry Anderson's just walked in. Look.
Look at how young he looks.
You see all
Yeah.
that. You see.
Yeah.
And then you would say the guys in the band would see you. You see, and there'd be a bit of eye contact with, say, one of the singer or the guitar player, and he would motion to you, like.
Motion to me?
But are you coming up? Do you want to? You know how you guys talk to one another without talking. You just.
The old sign
you
language.
just- yes.
The old private language. Yeah.
Yes. You see.
You
and
used to
then-
speak an egg language. You ever do the egg language?
Yeah, I know that.
Come egg on egg over and say me, Miggy.
Aye,
Yeah.
I know that. Right. Anyway,
Do people know that out there?
I don't think so. It's just
Gay
unique.
good meg on shake on.
It's just unique.
morning,
to-
Sean.
Yes, I know. It's
Meg
just
I name is J Gary Jake Andrews and he goes on. Do people know how to do that? See, people don't know how to do that.
People
It's a lost
associate-
art.
people
Give me a
associate-
sentence and I'll do it. It says to me, I spoke to you in your programme.
I speak of tea.
I speak of the I'm a wee bit slow on it.
Yes, I know.
I
Anyway,
speak
and I said to the gentleman, I said
Yes.
that if Jerry Anderson said, "I'm not coming up for a song, don't call me,"
yeah.
and you didn't call Jerry Anderson respected you. But if you called Jerry Anderson for a song, then he hated you, and the artist hated being called up to the stage after being told, "I don't want to sing."
Yeah, you hate the people until the
You
day
hate- and you know
until
the
the
guy-
day you die.
The
Yes.
guys who call you up, you know they're just tubes.
Exactly.
see?
That's how you spot a tube.
So that man there was telling me that Luke Kelly came into a gig that he was playing at. And word went down, or word came back to them that Luke didn't want to sing. So they didn't call Luke. And the next thing was, Luke Kelly appeared at the side of the stage to congratulate that man who's writing to you now on a song that he sang. Luke said, "You handled that very well."
Yes.
And Luke said to him, "Do you mind if I do one with you?" And Luke Kelly came up on the stage, invited himself onto the stage, and they sang a duet. So I said, "Well, that was a nice thing for Luke Kelly to do, and I'm sure you appreciate it." And I said, "What a great honour for Luke Kelly to ask you."
Is this going anywhere?
No, but then that man went on to tell me about famous people that he met, and for every famous person that he met, I matched him.
In other words, he would say Des O'Connor, and you would up him Mr. Pastry.
I upped him Lonnie Donegan.
And then he would counter with an Engelbert Humperdinck.
Yes,
and he would say, "I see you
Yes.
with Lonnie Donegan." No,
Yes.
you've done that already. I see you with a Tom Jones.
Or a Sandy Tong.
And then you'd throw in your hand. That
You
would
see.
be what?
Oh no,
George Harrison.
I beat him with George Harrison.
Thank you for listening. No, I didn't understand it either. Until next week from me, Jerry Anderson, goodbye.
And of course, Jerry's back at 10:30 on Monday morning. Well, it's 12:30 and time now to join the devastatingly handsome Jerry Kelly.
You're absolutely right, Anne-Marie. Happy New Year to you, by the way.
Happy New Year to you too, love.
Good to hear your lovely voice again. Isn't it? Isn't it
Yes,
lovely?
oh, sorry. Yes.
Jerry Kelly. On BBC Radio Ulster.
Anne-Marie forever modest there. Haven't seen her since Christmas. That's why I was wishing her a Happy New Year.